Hello. So today I'm gonna do full face. I was telling you guys last week's little get ready with me, can't really call them tutorials, that it's just easier for me to do all of my base off camera, but I don't know, today I'm in the mood to just chitty chatty. I should probably open these blinds. Much better, much better. You see this cute little pumpkin? It has little eyelashes on it. Missy sent that to me. She sent me a really cool box. Well, you probably saw it in the vlog, or maybe I didn't show it, I don't know. That box, and it had that cute little turquoise one, and then it had a little purple one, and the purple one was in a bazillion pieces. I have some really big issues with my post office. Nessa has sent me stuff before, and this was at my parents' house, but we have the same postmaster, and so like the same post office processes and everything, and they just like kick stuff around. I have gotten multiple things from Nessa that are in a bazillion pieces, so it just sucks. But I feel like it's like that everywhere. Luckily, I did a Bath & Body Works order. You guys will see next week. I got done telling you a couple weeks ago that I wasn't gonna order candles for the rest of my life, but then came the Halloween candles. I didn't get all of them for myself. I'm gonna make some like gift bags and stuff like that. But anyways, that Bath & Body Works box was scary looking. It got here before I got home from California, and Andrew sent me a picture of it, and it was like the saddest box you ever did see. So they are like, they must have lost a ton of money because they are very careful about their packaging. Not to say that Nessa and Missy aren't, but like theirs is like jam-packed, that nothing in that box is moving so that nothing gets broken. They have like cartons for candles, cartons for anything glass, you know what I mean? Like they are legit professional packing, you know what I mean? They must have lost money on like broken candles. And the aromatherapy, I think it's just the lotion, is in glass bottles, and you guys saw a couple weeks ago in a haul that came in its own little cardboard component. So I thought that was pretty cool, that even though the box like looked like I wasted a lot of money on candles, everything was fine. So I don't know what the deal is, like this is still not light enough for me. It's a little bit on the yellowy side, and so I've been having to take it down my neck. I don't go out in the sun if I don't have to, especially without SPF, just because I already have so much sun damage from when I was younger. My parents weren't like sticklers. I mean, back then you didn't really know that much about skin, you know what I mean, damage and sun damage, and it was all about getting the best tan. I mean, people were putting on baby oil. And I know that there's probably still people that do that, but for the majority, I feel like a lot of people are very conscious of like sun exposure. So anyways, I got a little bit of sun by accident in California, but like just on my chest, and that's because we were legit like at the beach. So the sun's always a little bit harsher there. I do have something new to try. I don't know how it's gonna go. I really want to just try it. I know it's like so yellow, but we're gonna try it. So this is the LA Girl Pro Conceal High Def Concealer in the color Porcelain. You know who this reminds me of is Shan XL. I can't remember the last time I watched a video of hers. I don't know why, like I go through these phases of like I really love somebody, and she does like really good makeup, but I feel like sometimes her personality is a little bit flat, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but sometimes I'm like, girl, why are you so, what's the word I'm looking for? She's like very monotone. What's the word I'm looking for? Not monotone, like very even, you know what I mean? It's not a lot of up or down. She's basically a female version of Andrew. This brush is the worst. What in the hell? I'm like wasting so much on my hand just trying to get the brush to get some to the... It's not as bad as I thought it was. I'm almost out of my Naked Concealer, and remember I was telling you guys it just doesn't have the coverage that I'm looking for, and it's the coverage is okay, but the creasing sometimes I'm like, me. But it doesn't make me look like an old lady, like Shape Tape. So I was like on the hunt for a new one, and this one was in the sale section. I felt terrible that I did that Ulta haul a couple weeks ago, and I got that Living Proof, those Living Proof kits on like, they were half off. They were only $7. And then I went to link those, the concealer and the NYX glitter primer, and it was all back to full price, and I felt terrible. I thought, you know, I thought once you're in the sale section, like, you're pretty good to go, but sorry guys, that makes me feel terrible. So I'm just using my setting powder from Cover FX. That actually isn't too bad. It's not super creasy. It gave some pigmentation. That brush though was terrible. It's hard because it's almost like it's half gone. This is the first time using it, and look at how flat it is. I don't know, that was like really hard for me to, if it's not a doe foot, apparently it's hard. And then I'm just gonna use my Marc Jacobs. This is the bronze brush. Remember I was telling you guys I was gonna talk about brushes a little bit more. I never use this for bronzer, even though that's what it's meant for, because my face is so like, you know, I don't have a lot of real estate, you know what I'm saying? So if I went to put on bronzer, it would be like, it would be bad. It wouldn't do me any justice. I just put way too much powder on my forehead, and now I'm gonna look chalky. I don't know what I'm doing today. I don't even know what palette I'm using yet, but I'm feeling like very punk rocky. I want to do something like dark and dramatic. Not like last time. I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Duo today. This is the Bronze and Glow, Film Star Bronze and Glow Duo. Shauna and I yesterday were talking about Charlotte Tilbury. This girl, Shauna, wants like everything from Charlotte Tilbury. And we were talking about that, the compact of powder that everybody uses, and I was like, man, that thing's like probably $100, and she was like, it's like 40. I was like, what? That's like how much my Cover FX one is. And she's like, you need it. You need it. So I'm probably gonna try that next. But she wants like the new eyeshadow palette, and there's like a Pillow Talk blush that's coming out that she wants to get, and there's something else. Eyeshadow palette. Oh, there's like a little quad I think that's coming out. And so her and I were talking about her yesterday, and I was like, man, she has some pretty good stuff. I have a duo from her that I love, and so this is one I was talking about, and I was like, I'm gonna use that. I'm trying so hard, you guys, to start shopping my stash, so I'm not going to be shopping. I don't think I've ever watched one of those videos, like a shop my stash. I know it's a thing where you like go through your own stuff, but I need to do that because I have so much stuff that I just don't use, and just buying, which this weekend is that sale for Rouge, and I will be buying some stuff on there, but it's like stuff that I need. Like I'm gonna get another Sunday Riley. There's a few things on my list, and then I wonder if I should make I don't think I'd have enough time because tomorrow I'm putting up a tutorial. Would I have time to make a wish list? I don't think so. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the highlighter from this palette. And using my same. I'll throw on a little bit of blush. This is Gentle from MAC. Miss Michelle gave this to me. I don't remember if it was in a swap or she just sent me a box one time, I think, because she's sweet like that. Her and I used to send boxes to each other often. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. And this is a Morphe R3, which is nice for just like blush. That's what I use it for. I don't know what it's meant for. I think it's meant for contour, but I never use a brush for what it's for. And then instead of using my regular Meteorites, I'm gonna use a little different one. This one is like a little bit more on the like gold side. This is the one from last year or the year before Christmas collection. I think it was 2 years ago that this one came out. These are called Pearls Day Legend, so I doubt that I'll be able to find these to link down below, but I'm using them because I want to. And you guys don't really mind because you've told me that many times. I want to be like very glowy. I have to go to Target today. I have to. I really do. I need to go get some air filters. So come to find out, we've been in this house now for almost 2 months, and you're supposed to place them every month, sorry. And now I'm gonna go in and do my brows while I talk to you. So you're supposed to do them, replace them once a month, and we haven't done it yet. We just went to do it, and so I found there's 2 in the main hallway in the upstairs, and so they're 2 different sizes, which is kind of annoying. So we go to Target. I dragged Andrew to Target, and we get the filters, and we get home, we replace them, and then I go, I think it was actually I think it was Andrew. I was in our room, and he came walking in, and there's vents inside and outside the bedroom doors, and they say it's to prevent the doors from slamming when the air turns on, but sometimes they still do. Actually, ours aren't that bad, but my parents do that, and they're supposed to have the same system. Anyway, so he was like, is that one? And I was like, no, that's to prevent the door from slamming. And he's like, it says 20 by 20 by 1. And I was like, oh my gosh. So not only do we have 2, we have 3. And it's a different size from the other 2. Being a grown-up and a homeowner, you don't realize some of the nonsense that comes with it. But when we took them out, it was like full of stuff. So I know it's doing something, and that makes me happy, and it's worth it. But I mean, that's 3 different sizes, which are 3 different prices, and you have to do it once a month. You're looking at like probably like anywhere from $60 to $90. No, I would say like $30 to $60 a month just on air filters, which again, I saw the evidence of what they do, so it's worth it. But that's just like another expense that you don't really even think about. Not just like a random expense like every once in a while, like that's an added monthly expense. So keep that in mind, anyone who's thinking about buying a house, when you're going to do your budget. If I knew then what I knew now, I feel like I need to make a video about buying a house. I mean, my situation might be a little bit different from some people who are gonna be in the process, because we did a VA loan, which is different than your like traditional, what is it, AHA, DHA, I don't know what the different ones are because I didn't use it. But anyways, I feel like I need to make a video because our mortgage company did not do an excellent job at explaining things. Like fees at the end, we didn't have really I mean, technically we had closing costs, but the mortgage, or is it title? I think it's title. I don't know. The seller, which would be like the home builder, covered most of them. And so we got like some money back. You have to have earnest money down, which, you know, you're supposed to get back, but some of it goes towards the closing costs that didn't get covered. And we didn't know that there was a VA financing fee, and you can't put your earnest money down to cover some of it. You can either pay none or all, and it was like almost $7,000, which we didn't have, you know, because we had already put our earnest money down. And so they tack that on to your mortgage, your selling price. So you're in the design studio and you have this number in mind, and so you skip on some things, but then you decide, like I splurged on the floor downstairs and I splurged on the white cabinets. The white cabinets were really expensive, but I knew I wanted them. Was it a mistake now that I have 2 children and a husband in the house? We shall see. But I really wanted them, and so I decided not to go with other things. Sorry, Aiden was having a moment. Where was I? So you spend all this time in the design center. You're supposed to get 2 appointments, And I did mine the day that I gave birth to Bailey, and you're supposed to get a second one, but we like couldn't, not that we couldn't, but because you're supposed to do them so many days apart, and I had a C-section, so we were in the hospital for, I think it was like 3 or 4 days. And they like pressured us to sign on the choices when you're supposed to get a second appointment. And I was there by myself because Andrew was with the Phoenix Police Department at this time and was working nights. Like he couldn't even he got off at like 7 that morning when I was getting ready to leave for that appointment. And then I went back home, picked him up, and we literally went to the hospital to cut Bailey out. So anyways, you know, you spend, I think I was there for like 4 hours picking out all this stuff, because I think it's like every $1,000, what is it? Every $1,000 that you spend is $25 on your mortgage. And so, you know, the builder gives you so much credit. You got extra credit for, like, we got extra credit for being actually in the police department. Not anymore. And then if we went with like their lender, you got an extra credit. So anyways, we had like $10,000 to spend, and that was literally my tile almost. So then we tacked on whatever else with like certain upgrades. Like we upgraded the TV to be mounted in the living room, so they moved the outlet up. Like just stupid stuff. I'm not gonna go into what all we picked. So anyways, you know, you think that you have this number in mind, and they give you the number of what your monthly payment's gonna be, and so you're like, okay, I'm good to go. And then you sign a paper saying you can't go back and change anything, and then they told us that there's a VA funding fee of almost $7,000, which was like another $100 on, if not more, yeah, like $150 more than what we were expecting. We were expecting it to be a lot less than what it was. And so we kind of, you know, stuck ourselves in the foot. Luckily, my husband's no longer with Phoenix PD, and we're actually making more money now, so it worked out in the end. Like, God always has a plan. Sorry, but he does. And so let's see what palette I'm gonna use. You know what? I'm gonna use my Jaclyn Hill palette because I want to, and I'm getting the vault delivered today. I was gonna wait, but I have too much to do. So anyways, I just wish that they would have done a better job explaining that whole situation. I really, really do. Because I wouldn't have picked some of the stuff. Like maybe I would have picked a different tile, or maybe I wouldn't have even upgraded the cabinets, because, you know, if we were still with Phoenix, like we would be in hot water. Like I would have to go out and get a job and figure out like childcare for my kids, you know, like there was just a whole bunch of stuff that I wish we would have known before going into it, that you would think we had a realtor. Usually you don't need a realtor with a new build, but we already had one because we were looking at pre-existing homes. So what I want to do is like a dark smoky eye, like completely dark, and then buff it out. I'm really inspired by Raw Beauty. Christy just did a video actually last night, and it was like a chit chat, and she did like a really dark smoky eye and like blew it out, but she used her Modern Renaissance palette, but I feel like I used that in my last video. So I'm gonna go in, I think first with this color right here. Freaking stupid. Let's see, that would be called Chip. I need to do what Raw Beauty Christy did and tape this card to the inside of it. And I'm using a Morphe E18, which is like a dome brush. I need to blend that blush out. That blush looks terrible. And I just now noticed it. Speaking of Raw Beauty Christy, did anyone watch that video that she put up? Today's Thursday, IRL. And she put up a video last night, which would be Wednesday, and she was talking about like the beauty community, and before any of that drama went down with the 4 idiots. I shouldn't say 4 because I literally haven't heard anything about Nikita, and she hasn't addressed anything about it. So, it was really just Manny, Gabriel, and Laura Lee, and Jeffrey, which I've said before, like when Jeffree is acting like himself and he's not like super over the top with the cattiness, I really enjoy him. When he's like over the top and like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Then I'm like, meh, I can do without you. She was talking about her experience. She isn't huge yet. I think she's going to get there just because she's so relatable and so sweet and she's super talented, and she's not your normal like fancy YouTuber where they make tons of money and they have like these fancy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. She's just relatable and I love her. I really do. She's like one of my favorite, if not my favorite YouTubers. She went out because she's getting a little bit more notoriety. She got invited to a few events out in LA. And so it was like a couple launch parties, a couple, I think she went to like a birthday party. She was there doing a photo shoot for a brand. Kathleen likes nail polish, actually. That's what she was there for. And so anyways, she was saying how incredibly disappointed she was that she met some of these people that on camera are just like the sweetest, kindest people, and they're not like that in real life, and vice versa. Like you see some people online, you're like, you can just tell that she is a snob, and you meet them in real life and they're really not. I remember I was telling you guys, like, you can't trust YouTube. Like, it is not what it seems. And perfect example of that, I talked in my last tutorial, was John and Jaclyn Hill. Like, that was crazy. I did not see that coming because photos and, you know, Snapchat and this and that, like, makes you think one way. Like Gabriel was saying in his thing, like, it's so easy with the camera to like create your own narrative and make the audience believe what you want. So anyways, that whole situation, like, I wasn't a subscriber of Gabriel Zamora. I like could care less about him. Not like in a mean way, like I just, you know what I mean? He didn't do anything for me. He didn't do amazing makeup in my opinion. He wasn't like anything to, I'm gonna go in with this color right above it called Burns and just blend that out on a fluffy M441. He just didn't do anything for me, and not in a mean way. And so when I watched his video though, I was like, dang, like somebody finally, you know what I mean? Like, let us know what the deal was. Like, I just didn't understand, like, Manny and Jeff back in the day when like they had their falling out, they were like, it's nobody's business, it's this, it's that. But at the same time, like, dude, you put yourselves out there and you know what I mean? I don't know. I hate to say that because I let people into my life too, and I don't tell them every single thing, or, you know what I mean, what drama goes on in my life. But at the same time, I don't categorize myself with Jeffree or Manny whatsoever. So anyways, I don't know. I just think that them keeping it like, you know, oh, it's just, we didn't want to say anything, and, you know, but then you like go and leave these ominous messages on Snapchat about each other without like saying each other's names. Like, it's just so stupid and childish. But I really appreciate Shane Dawson's documentary on Jeffree. I feel like it humanized him so much and showed that side of him that I love. I've been watching him literally forever. Probably, I don't remember if I watched him in MySpace. I think MySpace days, he was still a little bit on like loving the drama and being like super over the top. I feel like him as a person right now is exactly where he needs to be. I don't know. And that's just like some commoner's opinion, but you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place, but I've been watching so many videos about it and I was so invested in like the whole entire situation, and I literally didn't even know what the deal was until Missy told me about it. She's like, what is all this drama, or what do you think about this drama with Laura Lee and blah blah blah. I was like, what are you talking about? And then I watched Gabriel's video and I watched Laura Lee's apology, and I was like, girl. And then this morning, actually late last night, I don't know why I was up, but Manny released a second apology that was different than the first one, and everyone on there was like, you are so fake. The only reason why you're saying this is because Gabriel left or put his video out, and he was like mocking, not mocking, but like imitating the exact like setup of Gabriel's video, like wearing a hoodie, and I don't know. I don't really care about all of those details, but I didn't feel like it was sincere at all. And I used to like Manny. I know a lot of people didn't. Like Shauna was saying, she's like, I've never really liked Manny. And a lot of people were like, I knew his ass was fake and this and that, but I never really, I don't know, I never really got that from him. I really used to like him. And then when he started getting popular, I could tell he was getting kind of snobby, you know what I mean? And like doing the, you know, like, again, being over the top for no reason. Like, your personality was fine to begin with. That's how you got so many millions of subscribers. Like, I don't understand why these people think they need to like constantly reinvent and change themselves when you got where you were because of how you were, not how you are trying to be, you know, imitating somebody else. And you know, it's hard to say that because sometimes I fall victim to it. I'm like, my editing needs to be better. I need to have like better graphics and better music and this and that. But the people that watch me don't watch me because I have great editing skills. You know, I'm just a down to earth, you know what I mean, like chill person. I don't want to be like intense and like a YouTuber. Like, that's not my dream anymore. It used to be, because you get caught up in that whirlwind of like the fancy things and the, you know, they make a ton of money, which would be nice, but I don't know. I don't know. So I'm gonna go in with something a little bit lighter and try and buff that out with this Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and just lighten it up a little bit on the edges. I'm trying to like experiment with my makeup lately, and I really liked how that look turned out last week from working backwards and doing like my outer corner first. So I was trying to see if I could recreate that here, but it doesn't look like it. This kind of just looks messy, but I'm gonna roll with it. And I want to put something really poppy on the bottom, so I'm gonna use this electric blue. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild. It's like a dense little brush, and I'm going to pop that blue on my lower lash line. So I think that Laura Lee, she also never did anything for me. I was never a subscriber of hers, I don't think. I feel like I do remember seeing her pop up on my feed, but I don't remember like ever clicking on any of her videos. I'm not gonna take the time to go unsubscribe from her. I mean, I feel like the things that they did to Jeffrey, like that makes them, you know what I mean? Doing something like that to somebody you know is just terrible. I feel like people dragging up or drudging up old tweets and stuff like that, like I don't feel like that's very fair, because you know, people have opinions, and even if they're not right, a lot of those were like before they were in the public eye, where you kind of have to watch what you say. So stuff like, I don't know, stuff like that, I just feel like it's stupid. And Manny having to apologize because his Uber driver didn't speak English, like I think that's the dumbest thing ever. I mean, it's hard, complaining about something like that, like a language barrier, isn't racist. Like, being upset that you're having difficulty explaining or, you know, saying something to somebody. Even if I went to Mexico and I was like, man, I just, you know, it was so hard because there was such a language barrier and nobody spoke English, or anywhere, I don't feel like that's racist. I feel like the racism card is being thrown out so easy. It's ridiculous. I really do. That's my personal opinion. If I blow up later and somebody dredges it up, I stand by that. It's not racist, just complaining about something. Like, I don't understand why people are getting so upset about stuff like that. I really don't. I really don't. It's just, everything has to be like so politically correct right now, and you know, it wasn't like that back in 2014. I'm taking the color in light and just putting that under, that's what I put under my brow bone and in my inner corner. I can't tell how I feel about this look. I feel like it's a little bit more punk rock than what I was expecting. And I feel like it's a little bit on the messy side. And I've tried cleaning it up, but I don't know how it's gonna go. So I'm gonna take this Marc Jacobs, and I think it's, what is this? Out of the Blue. And I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line. In my waterline, not in my lower lash line. In my waterline. So I literally have probably like 78 lipsticks, and I don't use any of them because I told you guys I'm like non-committal to lipstick. So I want some suggestions for lip glosses. I know for sure in the Sephora sale this weekend, I'm gonna get that French press. Raw Beauty Christy talked about it first, and I'm so bummed that she won't get notoriety for that. Her friend Samantha from Canada, I don't watch her channel. I don't even like her. She's shown up on Jamie Genevieve's channel a couple times too. I shouldn't say that I don't like her. It's not that I don't like her. She doesn't do anything for me. She's not, you know what I mean, somebody I consider watching. Anyways, she gave Christy that French press lip gloss in, what is it, like soft white or something like that, and as soon as she put it on, I was like, oh my god, and I put it in my cart, and then I forgot about it, and then the sale came up, yada yada yada. But then Jeffree Star got sent all of them, and then somebody else started using them too, and so that's how they like blew up. But I was like so bummed because Christy used it on camera first. I was like, man, that's just the bummer about being a smaller YouTuber, I guess. I don't know. Okie dokie. I'm gonna do some lower lash mascara with the extended play lash. Does anybody remember when this was called Giga Blast Lash? Way back in the day when Jaclyn Hill used to use this. Also, while I'm at Target, I need to get something else. What was it? Oh, I know. Not what I need to get, but I remember what I was going to tell you guys about Target is that in the California vlog, I was like, you guys, this is the fanciest damn Target I've ever been in my entire life. Like, even the fixtures were like, it was like a department store, you know what I mean? Like a Macy's or a Dillard's. It was insane. Like the mannequins, and it was insane. And all of the clothing was like super, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. And so Andrew and I went to a different Target than what we usually did, and they had all the same fixtures. So I think they're all getting made over. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go over my top lashes. Did you want to focus? Okay, thanks. I'm gonna go over my top lashes with my Stila Huge because they make your lashes look huge. Does anybody else have like a constant battle with like, I want to wear false lashes and then I don't, and then I do? Like, this look would look really nice with like a nice fluffy pair of lashes, and I don't have any on hand, so yeah. I actually kind of like how this turned out. Let me zoom you in. Like I said, it's a little bit messy, but it's like kind of grungy, which is like the mood I was in. And I love the blue like liner with the blue eyeshadow. I feel like it looks very nice. A little grungy. And I think that this calls for MAC Whirl. I'm gonna line my, I just got done saying how I don't wear lipstick anymore, but I really don't have any glosses that I'm like in love with right now that I haven't shown you already. So I'm gonna line my lips with In Control from MAC. Oh, that's nice. You guys didn't see any of that. I always feel like I look like a Joker when I do my lips because my top lip is so much smaller. There, that doesn't look too bad now, does it? I look so grunge and 90s right now, and the best part is I'm wearing a Ninja Turtle shirt. I feel so retro. Very retro. That'll be it for this very chit-chatty, very long get ready with me. I wanted something grungy, and I'm pretty sure I achieved that look. If you have any suggestions of looks you guys want me to try very hard at and most likely fail, definitely leave them down below. If you want something sparkly, if you want something girly, if you want something Halloween-y, I don't know. Just if you have any suggestions or requests, definitely leave them down below. Other than that, I will catch you guys in my next video. If you're new, hello and welcome. My name is Brittany Cocco. You are watching the Cocco channel. Please subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.